It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, 2 outstanding elementary schools here to play our game. Let's meet them right now. First, from Barnaby Manor Elementary School, would you please say hello to Madison Allen, Wendell Rice, and Maurice Smalls. And from James Harrison Elementary, here they are, Douglas Flores, Anthony Morales, and Jovan Watkins. And now, here are the categories of questions we use on the Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on the Science Bowl, we arrange our game board according to question difficulty, with easier questions on the left worth 5 and 10 points, the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece, no penalties ever for incorrect answers. Into the 2 rounds today, we will have a candidate to move on in our competition, perhaps to the semifinals. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly. Let's go to Barnaby Manor. Wendell, would you try your buzzer for me? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you and to Maurice and to Madison. And Anthony, would you try the green teams? The 2 looks just fine. Good luck to you and Jovan and Douglas. Are we ready? Yes. Let's do it. Let's have a good game. May the better team win. We go alphabetically B before J. So Wendell and Barnaby Manor, let's play the ball.
Green things for 15, please.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, the McCormick Spice Company says that you can keep whole spices on your spice rack for 3 to 4 years before they go bad. But these other kinds of things on your spice rack, they're made only from leaves like parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, only last about 1 to 3 years. What kinds of condiments am I talking about? All right. Barnaby Manor thinks they can get the first points of the game. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, those aren't spices, they're these. What you think?
Seasonings.
Not quite. Good try. Not seasonings. All right, guys, you've had a chance to talk among yourselves. What do you think they are?
Dressings?
Herbs. They're herbs. H-E-R-B-S. Always made from leaves. All those other things in the spice rack are made from seeds and bark and roots and other things. All right, try again. Red.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, if Noah had had the animals board the ark in alphabetical order, the first animal onto the ark would have been this earth pig, whose name in Afrikaans is this. First animal in the alphabet. Wendell.
Aardvark.
Aardvark. You got it. The Afrikaans name means earth pig. Nice answer, young man. You're on a roll. Go.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, there is a dance troupe here in Washington that's about to put on a performance of something they call preparation for the obsolescence of the blank chromosome. What letter chromosome am I talking about that makes someone a man? What letter chromosome? Correct answer is Y. X chromosomes for women, Y chromosomes for men. Go red.
All right. Science Potpourri for 10.
Science Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, Ray Bradbury once wrote a science fiction book called Fahrenheit 451. It was all about a society where people were not allowed to read books. They burned the books. Fahrenheit 451 is the temperature at which what materials that are used to make books automatically start burning? Anthony?
Paper.
Paper. That's it. Good. Green. Go.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo parade for 5 points. Teams, it has been said that the rocker Ozzy Osbourne back in the 1980s literally bit the head off one of these winged mammals. Barnaby Manor.
A bat.
A bat. Yes. Thank you, Madison, for your assist. Go, Wendell.
Let's get physical for 10.
Get physical for 10 points. Teams, a Canadian astronaut recently said, in just 100 years, we have gone from filming the Wright brothers to landing a camera on Titan. Titan is the largest moon of what second largest planet?
Saturn.
Anthony.
Saturn.
Yes, Saturn, right behind Jupiter. All right, green, go.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline science for 5 points. Teams, if you were watching the news, you know that they recently found a spacecraft on Mars that we lost 10 years ago. Its name is the same name as the kind of dog that Snoopy is. Harrison.
Beagle.
A beagle. That's it. Good. Green.
Science potpourri for 5.
Science potpourri for 5 points. Teams, if you follow hockey, you know that there's a name of a team called the Nashville Predators. Sounds like the mascot might be a dinosaur. No, their mascot is one of these prehistoric felines with very long canine teeth. Barnaby Manor.
Saber-toothed tiger.
That's it. Good. Go. Red.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems for 15 points. Teams is a multiple choice question. Look at the monitor. There's a picture. This lady has a black eye, but she wasn't in a fight. Her eye was tattooed. What part of her eye, I'm going to give you 3 choices, did they add the ink to? The sclera, the cornea, or the retina? Which of those 3 parts was inked? James Harrison.
Cornea?
Nope, not the cornea. Was it the sclera, the cornea, or the retina that you see black in there?
The sclera?
The sclera, that's right. That's the white of the eye is known as the sclera. Yes. Good comeback, Red. Go.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, paleontologists recently discovered the skull of a fish that was 45 million years old. They saw on that fish for the first time ever in a vertebrate this kind of mandibular bone that we probably know best as the title of a scary movie about a shark. Harrison.
Jaws?
Jaws. Good. Go. Green. Ooh, buzzer sounded. Quick first round. Let's check that score. 2 good teams here. James Harrison, 90. Barnaby Manor right behind 85. We'll be back with round 2 in one moment. Don't go away.
Let's be real. There are days when every mom wants to tell her kids to take a hike.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Because when you take us hiking,
Or let us run outside,
acting silly,
getting dirty,
and helping in the garden,
you're not only making your day better,
you're making our lives healthier and happier.
playing outside is not only fun,
It helps us feel our best inside and out.
so next time when Mom wants you to take a hike,
Tell her to go to beoutthere.org to find fun ideas for helping kids enjoy the great outdoors.
Let's be honest, it's not bad for the parents either.
They're so cute at this age. Be out there!
And welcome back to Science. Well, nice to have you here today. We've got 6 outstanding young people here, 3 of whom are from a school that has never participated on Science Bowl in our 29-year history. That would be James Harrison. We're so happy to have them here today. And Barnaby Manor, a perennial competitor the past couple of years. We love having them here as well. Let's meet the teams. Wendell, tell us about Barnaby Manor. Who's your principal?
Our principal is Dr. Lynch.
And I know how excited Dr. Lynch is to have you here today. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Our sponsor is Miss Guy.
And she is just a great teacher, and I've seen her teach, and she always sends us just wonderful teams, and Miss Guy will be out with Dr. Lynch in a few moments. And I know you had some alternates. You got a whole shadow team, don't you? Who are they? Just their first names.
We got Darius, Genesis, and Gabrielle.
And we'll bring them all out. Thanks for remembering their names. Tell me about yourself. What do you want to do someday, Wendell?
When I grow up, I would like to become a mechanical or a technological engineer, or maybe both.
Or maybe both. And he told me earlier that he wants to go to Yale, so he's got some big dreams, and I like people who shoot high. Let me ask you before I leave you, Wendell, what do you like best about Barnaby Manor? What do you like to brag about?
Well, I like to brag about how our school is just amazing. I mean, our teachers, our students, our staff. I mean, how better can Barnaby Manor get?
I think we sign him up for an ad agency right now. That was the best ad I've ever heard. That was just tremendous, Wendell. I want to go there now. And you can see from his sash over there, he is a safety patrol. And Maurice, as are you, yeah? Tell me about your responsibilities. Where are you stationed in the school, Maurice?
I'm stationed, I help the kids, but now I've been changed. Now I help the kids get on a bus.
Wow, that's a big responsibility. That's good to have that kind of experience at such a young age here. And I know you told me earlier you're interested in natural history, yeah? Tell me what you like to do.
One day I hope I can like give people a tour in the woods, like, cause people they think the woods is all it's gross and stuff, but I want to show them with the beauty in the woods and nature.
Boy, the beauty, isn't that the truth? Yeah, a lot of times we move so fast in life, we miss the beauty that's right in front of us here, and I think that's great. Tell me what you do in your spare time if you're not in the woods.
On my spare time, I read. Sometimes I watch the Science Bowl pass.
Oh, I like that. The #1 show, right, Maurice? Science Bowl. And I know you like to read adventure books, don't you? Yeah, all right. Good to have you here. Madison, good to have you here. Young lady who likes to dance and hopes someday to get some things on YouTube to teach people, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me what you do in your spare time, other than dancing.
In my spare time, sometimes I like to draw. I like to read books. Like, I like to read dystopian books like the Hunger Games series. I believe the Hunger Games series and the movies are a really good series because I just like the way they're made. I like the way that the author of the Hunger Games just makes the books. I like the way she makes the characters. And I also sometimes, but this is only occasionally, like sometimes I'll feel like being creative, like I'll just make a craft, but that's only sometimes, and I'll go outside with my friends to have fun if I'm not in the house playing video games.
That's wonderful. So I like your urgency. You always want to be busy. You want to be creating things. And I can tell you're a reader because of your vocabulary. Use that word dystopian. And when you read, your vocabulary increases and you just go into a different world. Thanks. You're a good advertisement for what a good student is, Madison. Nice to have you here. James Harrison, good to have you guys here for the first time. You're up there in Laurel. Who's your principal, Anthony?
Dr. Williams.
Wonderful. She's here today. She's going to be out in just a few moments. And the sponsor of your team?
Miss Jackson and Miss Charles.
Wonderful. And Miss Jackson was here not too long ago as a judge just to find out how this game works, and she's just tremendous, and we appreciate all her work. So all three of those ladies will be out in just a few moments. Any alternates on your team, Anthony?
Charles.
Charles, he'll be out shortly. What do you like about Harrison? Best thing?
That our school's really clean, the food's really yummy and healthy.
Yeah,
and
yummy and
the
healthy
teachers
food.
are really fun.
Yeah. All the good things, you know, there's no reason not to want to come to school. You can't wait to get to school if you know the teachers are on your side and you got a good lunch waiting too. Someday, Anthony, what are you going to do?
When I grow up, I want to be a mechanical engineer, if not that, a video game designer.
Yeah,
Go
ahead.
And go to MIT.
Yeah, well, you've got something in common with Wendell over there. He wants to go to MIT. No, you want to go to Yale, don't you? Yeah, well, these are top-notch schools. And I like how you're playing the game, Anthony. You're a good captain. You got a good, cool head. You don't get flustered. And you check in with your teammates. Joe Vaughn, nice to have you here. Young man, you play soccer, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's always good to have athleticism and be a good academic at the same time. What do you want to do someday?
I want to grow up, go to MIT, become a robotic or mechanical engineer. And if that doesn't work, like Anthony said, I want to be a game designer.
Yeah, well, you've got plan B and plan C there. You always have to have fallbacks in life, and it sounds like you guys Maybe your friends off camera here too. You got some similar interests and aspirations. Douglas, you want to go to MIT?
Yeah.
All right. How did I know that? How about engineering? You want to be an engineer?
Astronomer.
That's close enough. All right. I told him earlier that I wished he had a telescope because an aspiring astronomer needs one of those. So maybe a future gift will come your way. What do you do in your spare time, Douglas?
I play soccer with my friends.
Very
Sometimes
good.
read books.
That's great. That's great. What does your shirt say over there?
I love James H. Harrison.
Yeah, well, that's a great thing, a good advertisement for the school. All right, guys, and one lady over there. Let's get back to our game. Score 85 for Barnaby Manor, 90 for James Harrison. Lots of points to give away. Green team, start us out. Anthony.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, this green thing is red on the Canadian flag because that's its color in the fall. Barnaby Manor.
Maple leaf?
A maple leaf, absolutely right. The Toronto maple leaves, the maple leaf is the symbol of Canada, absolutely. Again, Madison, you were invaluable there. Thank you for your assist. Go, Wendell.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if something really bad happens to you, even if your bicuspids and incisors are not threatened, they say that that bad thing is like a kick in the what? Wendell.
In the butt?
Not the butt, no. Didn't listen to all my clues. Even if your bicuspids and incisors are not threatened, that bad thing is said to be a kick in the what?
A kick in the back?
What are incisors and bicuspids? Teeth. Those are your teeth. It's a kick in the teeth. Try again, red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Get physical for 15 points. Teams, what kind of simple machine could be described as an inclined plane wrapped helically around an axis? What kind of simple machine is an inclined plane wrapped helically around an axis? That would be a screw. A screw is a simple machine. All right, go again, red. 90 all, tie score.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline science for 10 points. Teams, Elon Musk is the head of a company called SpaceX. And his company is working on designing a reusable rocket so that we can go where and come back. Harrison?
To Mars?
To Mars, yeah, absolutely. It does no good just to go there. We got to have some way to get back here unless you want a one-way ticket. All right, you're in the lead by 10 points. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, the chemical symbol for the chemical element californium is CF. But if you address a letter to California, the postal code is CA. But Ca on the periodic table is the chemical symbol for what other chemical?
Carbon?
Harrison.
Carbon?
No, good try, not carbon. Ca is the chemical symbol for what other chemical? What you think? It's calcium. Calcium was the answer. Go green. Nice try there, Anthony. Go again.
Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams, unlike most substances that contract when they freeze, what substance expands when it freezes? James Harrison?
Water?
Water, yeah, absolutely right. Which is why if you fill a container with water and put it in the freezer, a lot of times it'll split the container, pop up the top. Go green. Come on, guys, you got to be faster here. Maurice, let's help him out, all right? Listen, boom, boom, talk. Go, Anthony.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Bamboo is sometimes called an arborescent grass because bamboo looks like a what? Yeah. What do you think?
A tree?
A tree, absolutely right, because arbor means tree, like Arbor Day. Thanks, Joe Vaughn, you nailed it. Good, go green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Science potpourri for 15 points. Teams, there's a new exhibit at the American Museum of Natural History in New York called Flight in the Age of Dinosaurs. It's all about what? Flying dinosaurs. Barnaby Manor.
Pterodactyl?
You got it. Pterodactyls and pteranodons. All right. Red, you needed that one. Come on, go.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Listen carefully, teams. Big words, simple answer. If I told you plants are positively phototropic, does that mean they lean toward the light? They use light to make food? Or they only bloom if there's a certain amount of light during the day?
They use light to make food.
Not quite. If plants are positively phototropic, do they lean toward the light, use light to make food, or require a certain amount of light to bloom?
Lean to the way of the light?
Absolutely. They bend toward the light. Phototropisms. Absolutely. Good. Go, green. Nice try, Wendell. Get them next time.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, a book called Variation of Animals and Plants Under Domestication, never heard of that, was written by a famous scientist who more famously wrote on the origin of species about evolution. Who would he be, Harrison?
Charles Darwin.
Say it again.
Charles Darwin.
Darwin, that's it. Thank you, Douglas, for clarifying that. That's the answer. Nice play, and go green.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points is a visual question. Look at the monitor, teams. Everybody plays. It looks like a bee. It's not. It's a fly. The fly is imitating a bee. Doesn't have a stinger, but maybe it's now protected from predators. What M-initialed behavior that is a synonym for imitation are you witnessing here, Wendell?
Mimicry?
Yes, sir. Well done. Red, go.
Body systems for 20.
Body system for 20 points is a multiple choice question. Teams, you've seen the ads on television for Osteobiflex. It's a medicine. Would people take Osteobiflex if they have congestion of the heart, gastritis, or arthritis? Which of those three diseases would benefit most from Osteobiflex?
Arthritis?
Yes, indeed. Osteobiflex. Yes, osteo meaning bone. That was your clue. Good. 165 to 170 to 125 advantage green. Go.
Dateline science for 25.
Dateline science for 25 points. Teams, the Nobel Prize in Physics in the year 2011 was won by 3 astronomers, Douglas, who studied supernovae. Supernovae is a fancy way of saying exploding whats? Exploding what, Harrison?
Exploding stars?
Yeah, exploding stars. That's what they are. Good. Go. Green.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20. Come on, Barnaby Manor. Let's get back in here. The game's not over. Stay with me. Teams, there used to be a hospital in downtown Washington known as Walter Reed. Walter Reed is the man who, when we were building the Panama Canal, discovered that it was mosquitoes that were causing what kind of fever that has a name that is a color?
Yellow
James
fever?
Harrison.
Yellow fever?
Yellow fever. That's it. Good. Go.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, physicists are celebrating that after 50 years they found it, the Higgs boson, which explains why elementary particles have this quantity that we often confuse with weight. Anthony.
Mass?
Mass is right. Yes, indeed. Well, you took your time and you parsed all the clues and you came up with it. Nicely done, young man. Go.
Let's get physical for 25.
Physical for 25, big one in that category. Teams, they're building a brand new telescope in the high desert in Chile, the Large Synoptic Telescope that is the biggest mirror ever made. It weighs 70 tons. It's thicker in the center than at the edges, so instead of being a concave mirror, it is this opposite kind of mirror. What is the opposite of concave? Anybody gonna try? Come on, Wendell.
Procave mirror?
Procave, good try, good try. The opposite of concave, this largest mirror ever. Any idea over there, guys? Convex. Convex is the opposite of concave. 4 questions left. Harrison, you choose.
Body system for 25.
Body system for 25 points. Teams, most of our body processes inside are involuntary, like breathing and digestion. They're controlled by the smooth variety of these body parts, whereas your heart, which beats involuntarily, is made up of the striated version of these body parts. What body parts am I talking about that control these functions? Muscles is what I'm talking about. Go green.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. All right, teams. Big words. Listen carefully. You got lots of choices that could get you 25 points. James Audubon was a painter of birds, but he also painted animals. He had a book called The Viviparous Quadrupeds of North America. Can you name one wild animal in America that fits that description that he painted? Viviparous quadrupeds. Give me any wild animal that would fit that description. Anthony.
A woodpecker?
Nope, not a woodpecker. Nope, come on, Wendell. Any wild animal that would be considered a viviparous quadruped that Audubon could have painted in North America. All right, what do you got?
Blue jay?
No. Quadruped means what? 4 feet. 4 feet. Wolf, lynx, deer, moose, any of those would have worked. Buzzer sounded. Game is over. We'll be back in a moment with a wrap-up. Don't go away.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
And welcome back. What a game we had here today. 6 young people, 5th and 6th graders. Boy, did they acquit themselves well. Beautiful examples of science students at their best. We're proud of them all. Our final tally is Barnaby Manor 125, James Harrison 235. The guys in blue, you're moving on. Congratulations. And standing behind them over there is their alternate Charles and Dr. Williams, their principals joining us today. And Miss Jackson, congratulations. We'll see you in the next round. Let's see some smiles over here, guys. You played a super game. Madison and Wendell and Maurice, give them a hand. Give them a hand. And Genesis and Darius and Gabrielle, you all look great. You backed up your team perfectly. Dr. Lynch, thank you for being here today. And Miss Guy, thank you always for sending us great students. We love having you here, and we love having you. We'll see you next time on the Science Bowl. Bye-bye.